Hi, this is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm here to share this Nothing's Better Than card. Today is a coffee kind of day, which are most of my days. Let's set this aside and get to the crafting. For today's card, I'm using the Nothing's Better Than bundle, which includes the Nothing's Better Than stamp set, and then the Love You More dies. Let me set those aside. And I have a piece of cardstock. I've already stamped one coffee mug, but I want to add another. And I want it to be a reverse image, mirror image, whichever of those terms you choose. So I'm going to start with my Pear Pizzazz ink with the fill-in stamp. Make sure I've got the right one down here. I've mounted them both. Now I need to stamp off because my ink pad is extra juicy. And then I'm going to stamp here on my silicone craft sheet. And let's close this up and get my Misty Moonlight. And now I'm going to stamp the outline stamp for the mug. And let's zoom in here so that I can put my head down as well and not have it in the shot. Now my fill stamp is about right here. I'm going to pop this one off the back. And pardon me if I get my head in the way, because it's very light on there. I think I've got it. Okay, so let's pop these aside. Now I'm going to pick this up and huff on it to re-moisten. And then we're going to zoom out here. Oop, that was in. We're going to zoom out here. And then I'm going to place my cardstock right over the top and give it a rub. And then I've got a reverse image of that stamp. Now, to die cut this one, you may remember from one of my One Simple Trick videos, you're going to hold this up so that you can see the cup. You may need to put a little light behind here. I know I can see it because of my studio lights. And you're going to die cut like this, but shine a little light from this underside where you've stamped and die cut, and that way you can die cut your image as well. So let me go do that and I'll be right back. Now we've got our two die cut coffee cups, and should you choose to, you can take the bullet tip of your Misty Moonlight marker, and I like to place an extra finger on it as I go and sort of clean up any lines that need a little bit of fill. And that extra finger helps to control the movement of the marker. So now let's zoom back out here. Got to pinch the right direction. We'll do this. Okay, so I'll set these aside. Next, I have this piece of Whisper White that I've cut with the Mini Medallions die, and I'm going to attach that to a Whisper White oval cut with the largest layering oval. And to do that, I'm just going to dot on some multi-purpose glue, and you don't need great amounts of this. I'm just kind of coming around and touching a few places with it, making sure that I've got a large enough area that it's going to cover my oval here. So let's press that down. And I'm going to set that aside to dry a moment because then we'll want to trim that down to size. Now, while that's drying, let's work on our layer here for the card. And it's a standard 5 1/4 by 4. And I want to start by marking the midpoint here, which is going to be 2 5/8. So I'm just going to put a tick mark here, and then I'm going to slide my card down so it's even on the grid lines, and I'm 2 squares up on the grid paper. And I've lined my ruler up with that, and I'm just going to come across here. Let's put my pencil and ruler out of the way, and then we're going to start and create the design for the bottom of this card. So I need my scrap paper here, and move this out of the way. And this is just like the scrapbook page that I did the other day, except I'm using a different size block. This is the G block. I'm going to start with my Misty Moonlight and ink it by dragging it, and then I'm going to spritz it with some water and then put it down here at this midline mark and drag. So let me wipe, and then we'll take the Seaside spray, and same thing, we're going to drag it and spritz it, shake off some of that excess water, and let's pick up a little more ink and put down there. And same thing here. Whoops, need a little water with that. There we go. Okay, and we're going to fill this across then with the Pear Pizzazz and So Saffron, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the border for the bottom of our stamped layer. Let's just set this aside. And then I need some stamping done for the sentiment. And I've got one of those strips that you cut off when you're cutting layers for your cards. And I'm just going to stamp my sentiment pieces in Misty Moonlight. And sorry, the challenge here is for me not to want to come in closer with my head. Then you can't see anything but the back of my head. Okay. And then let's ink this one. And I'm sure you're looking at this going, ah, she's got it backwards, but it's okay because we're going to cut that apart in just a minute. So let's close up my ink over here. And while we give that a second to become touchable, let's move back to that oval with the mini medallions on it, and we're just going to use the edge of the oval as our cut line and our paper snips, and come right around that and cut away the excess. And the reason I'm going so slowly is because I just don't want to cut the oval that's underneath. So I'm taking my time to come around and make sure that my scissors are staying on the outside edge of that oval rather than coming into the oval. Okay. And that's pretty. It's got a little tone on tone there with the white. Let's bring this piece over and let's go ahead and cut these apart. And it looks like I need to come back and straighten this just a smidge. There we go. And same thing here, we're just cutting straight lines. If you prefer, you can do this with your trimmer. Okay, and let's move all of these bits out of the way, and we'll start and put this together. We're going to start with a piece of the Seaside Spray scalloped linen trim and put down a strip of tear-in tape across the middle-ish of the card. Let me just make sure my base is straight. Then I've got more of a chance of having that piece of tape down straight. And we'll give that a quick burnish with my bone folder. And that way the backing strip comes off more easily. And then let's make sure that I've got this on here. Okay. And then let's bring our thick Whisper White card base here. And I've still got this piece from the mini medallions that I cut. And so I'm just going to cut a strip off the bottom here. Okay. And put some multi-purpose glue on the back. Again, we're just going to dot some on here. Now you could choose to have cut this from the get-go on one of the adhesive sheets, and then this would have a sticky backing on it already. And we're just going to use this on the inside of the card near the bottom here. Give it a little press. And then I need my dimensionals for this layer. Make sure you're putting down enough dimensionals that it's going to hold the card and not have saggy sides or a saggy middle. Okay, and then again we're going to line up with this grid paper, check the top and two sides that they're equal in spacing. Let's put this on with dimensionals. Okay, and then I have coffee that I cut with our Love You More Than dies, and I've cut a piece of Misty Moonlight for the layer behind this die cut. The word is in Seaside Spray, and I've got a one simple trick video for you for cutting a layer for any die. And we're going to add this with dimensionals. Oops. And we're just going to set this off to the side just a little bit. And then I'm going to bring in the adhesive foam strips and cut a bit of that for the words. Oops. Let's straighten this back up and okay, put that out of the way. These strips are great for the narrow words and other things as well. I need one little bit on the edge here. Let's see if we can do this with a mini dimensional behind this. I need just a smidge more height because this end is going to hang off my die cut oval. And that way it'll be level all the way across. And the reason I used a mini dimensional instead of more of the adhesive foam strip is that dimensionals and mini dimensionals are half the height of the adhesive foam strips. Okay, and then I have some metallic pearls here that I'm going to add. Oop, I had a hitchhiker. Let's see if we can get that off my thumb and add it to the card here. And then we're going to come down here on this other side and add a couple. These have sort of clustered together on my sheet here, so there we go. And there's our Nothing's Better Than coffee card. Oh, nope, it's not. My goodness, I forgot our coffee cups from the beginning here. So let's put some dimensionals on these and add them. So you can give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I always love to hear what you have to say. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell, you'll be notified the next time that I upload a video. All of today's products can be purchased in my Stampin' Up store, and I'll have a link to that video for cutting a background layer for any of your dies. Thanks for stopping by today. This was Sara Levin, the Artful Inker.